Hey, what's up? It's Kit. Time for another video, and it's a lockdown. A lot of people are confined to their homes, so am I. So there are a lot of things that, kind of bum us out, especially now where you can't go fishing, okay? That's just it. That's the long and short of it. You can't. We have to follow the government because a lot of people are getting sick and they're trying to protect us and end this as fast as possible. All in good. But a lot of people who love fishing, such as myself, and I know there's a lot out there, are just going nuts, okay? So what have I been busy with? Just to give you guys an idea, believe it or not, I don't really miss fishing that much because even when I'm confined at home, I'm actually doing a lot of fishing related stuff, okay? Take for example, the very last video that I made and uploaded was a kayak tour in the Palm. And again, that's all in good. And the plan was to make a follow-up trip and I was gonna go fishing. But before that, I found quite a few kinks in my videos, okay? And one of the things that I found that was really driving me off the wall was how to keep the camera steady. And although I have, gimbals and all of that, I didn't really take them, okay? So what I did was to charge everything up, get them ready so that next time I could go in the water, I'm taking you guys with me, and that's done. There's also a subject of the cameras that I had, and well, we're using GoPros, and just to give you an idea, these are some of them, okay? So I added 2 more, okay, just so I'd have the stuff that I need. And I have also, like I said, charged the gimbals that I had. One of the things that I really wanted to fix was my audio, and I know that there's been a lot of ups and downs in my videos as far as audio is concerned. Doing it here at home in my office, it's great, okay? The problem is, it's when I'm outside. So for quite a few things, I've been struggling, and I finally found a solution, which is exactly what I'm using now. So once I've fixed the audio, it was on to organizing my tackle boxes. It's not fishing, okay? But see, the thing is, when you're going out fishing, these are chores that you're gonna have to do ahead of time anyway. So since we have a lot of spare time in our hands, you know what? I told myself I might as well do this, okay? Because if I'm not gonna do it, nothing's gonna get done. And I see a lot of people online, friends on Facebook and whatnot, they've been posting a lot of pictures, and great, because they're finally doing their own assist hooks as opposed to just buying them, because now a lot of people have more time. All in good. But as you can probably see from the title of this video, this is not about that. I'm going to talk to you about the technology you could use to plan out fishing trips. And I use a bunch, okay? So I'm going to give you 5, okay? 5 tools that you could use to map out, like literally from start to finish, okay, your fishing trips. And believe it or not, these are all free. And this is something that you could do on your desktop. It's something that you could also do on your phone. And this is the beauty of it, because if you have your phone, you turn it on, you have your data on, and as soon as you get the location, it means that you could pretty much pinpoint where the places are, okay? So there are some things actually that you do from the computer just because it has a bigger screen. And I'm gonna show you exactly how I do things, okay? And first, I'm gonna give you the tools Some of them require some download. Well, one. I'm just looking at my list right now. There's only one that you download, and then the rest you could just access. Okay, so first up, you need to download Google Earth. I know a lot of you guys already have it, okay, but I'm gonna be showing you exactly what I do with it in the computer. Okay, and once we do that, I'm gonna break down each and every single aspect of things that, well, there are certain aspects of these tools that you actually kind of can't do outside of the computer. And then I'll show you guys a few tricks that I have to determine specific spots. Okay, so bear with me. Now, Google Earth, and then you would need a website like Wind Guru or Wind Finder. Okay, so that's two. Websites that give you the high tides or the low tides. Now for me, I use tides for fishing. Mind you, I really don't, I'm not affiliated with these websites, and a lot of these websites are really common knowledge. It's just that I'm giving you guys this, and some of the guys that already know this would probably say like, Kit, we've been doing this for years. Yes, but there are some that are just starting out, and this is great for them. So bear with me, okay? Now, for you guys that already know that these websites exist, that's great. But who knows? If you watch the video, you might find something that's new, or it could validate what you already know, which is always a good thing. Google Maps. Google Maps. Now, I know that I already said Google Earth, but Google Maps is something that you could access on your phone. You can pinpoint your location. It's not too heavy. It's not as heavy as Google Earth. And also, the very good thing about Google Maps is that it shows you exactly where you need to pass through, the roads. And Google Earth is really not that good when it comes to that. Google Earth is, well, I use Google Earth for something else, which I'll show you. Okay, now, the fifth website that I find really useful for myself is, believe it or not, Navionics. Okay, you go to the Navionics website, you go to chart viewer. Okay, you don't need to download this on your phone. This is something that you could use on your computer, and I'll show you some of the tricks that I actually use for this later on. But the good thing about Navionics is that it's a chart. It shows you pretty much the contour, the depths, and all of this. And I'll show you a trick that I use later on. And the bonus here is if you could actually invest in some money and download the Navionics app. Here in Dubai, I'm not sure exactly how much I paid for mine, but it's not cheap. Okay, but it's a very good tool. So if you can afford to actually download it, for me it's work. So I had to do it. But if, say, you can't, it's fine, because you have the chart viewer, and that's all you need. And this trick, or these tricks that I'm going to show you, these are some things, or this is something that you actually use anywhere on Earth. Just as long as it's mapped, you could use it. All right, so what's going to happen is we're going to move over to the computer, and we'll have a short discussion on exactly what we could do with each software. All right, so we have Google Earth open, and what we're going to do is we are going to talk about the thing in Google Earth that you can't do with anywhere else. Well, we'll start with the UAE. Okay, and well, we're here in the UAE, so what we're gonna do is find a place here. All right, so let's take, for example, Dubai. All right, this is Palm Jumeirah. All right, now what we're gonna do here is we're gonna do all right, here we go. So this is the Black Palace Beach right here. Okay, So Black Palace Beach, real nice. You can see now, one of the things that's very important here is that with Google Earth, okay, you'd be able to see a graphical representation of, well, kind of like an aerial view of the place. The very good thing about Google Earth is the biggest or the best tool that I use is this one right here. It's the ruler, okay? I can measure distance. So let's say when I launch here at this spot right here, okay, I can measure the distance to the closest wall, okay, on a straight line. Like take for example here, okay. So I know that it's 1.09 kilometers. If you want it to be nautical miles, it's right there. Meters, centimeters, whatever, okay, so you can change. And I could do a path. So like take for example, if I'm paddling, kayak, whatever, you know, I can see exactly how far I need to travel if I'm taking this path, if I'm not able to do a straight line, or if I actually do a route. I know that I need to pass through this place, and I can figure out exactly how far I need to paddle to get outside this wall right here, and that is 4.19 nautical miles, or about 7.76 kilometers one way. Obviously you can do a whole path and probably even shorten it, so you can figure out a lot. Now very useful for kayak fishing. Now for people that just fish on land, you know, you'd be able to actually kind of zoom in and see exactly where the roads are, where to park, measure distances again, okay, kind of similar to maps, okay. Now I'm not going to close this because I'm still going to show you something after this, but let's jump into Google Maps. Okay, the very good thing about Google Maps is the fact that you are able to, again, still the same, okay, go back to the same place. You can do your satellite view, which would give you practically the same thing with Google Earth, okay. The thing with Google Maps is that you'll have a lot of markers. Probably sometimes you could turn it off and on in Google Earth, but this is a bit more detailed. But what I like about Google Maps is that it's something that you can access on your phone. That's one. And two, you'd be actually able to zoom in even more and see the roads, and that's where it's very useful, okay. Now to check how the winds are, you go to Wind Guru. Okay, now with Wind Guru, you'd be able to see a forecast, and this is very important because if you're planning to go on a Thursday or Friday or Saturday, and then it's right now, as you can see, it's Sunday, you could just see exactly when the weather would be good. So like take for example, for the whole week next week, it's not going to be too good, but on Thursday and Friday, if I want a little bit of wind, and you know, I can fish practically any of these days if we didn't have this whole situation now. I know that Thursday to Saturday would be really good, would be great for kayak fishing because of the low winds, or if I wanted to sail, like with the sailing kayak or a sailboat, I know that Thursday would probably give me a very comfortable day. If I needed speed or whatnot, it would be Wednesday that would be a really good bet. And Saturday to Monday, I'm probably gonna do something else, okay. So this kind of information would give me as far as you know, the wind is concerned. Now for tides, okay, let's go to tides for fishing. Okay, it's already set. As you can see, this is a tool that I regularly use. Again, let's say I wanted to do Friday, 3rd of April, and I would know that on Friday the winds are going to be really good. Most importantly, this would show me exactly what the tide is for that particular day, so that's good. And this website actually tells you when the fish are technically biting. I don't really trust this much, but it is kind of accurate, so this is very useful, and you can see some of the legends here. And again, you can find tide this tide predictions for practically almost any area in the world. Okay, now what we're gonna do here is go to Navionics. Okay, search that on Google. See, as you can see, that's something that I've actually accessed for the blue. All right, so here you can see chart viewer. If you go to chart viewer, it loads this whole thing up, and you could pretty well, it homes in already on your location. For us, it's Dubai, so that's it. Now you can see that this is a chart. It's a real navigational chart, and you can see that it has a lot of detail. Okay, gives you depths and all that. Okay, very, very important. So you have Dera and there's Palm Jumeirah. Okay, now this is something that I kind of like doing. Okay, so this is a chart, and it tells you exactly what the depth is, presence of buoys or whatnot. So what I do, and this is a really good trick, guys. Okay, so let's say you zoom out a bit. Okay, let's say you want data for right here. Okay, all right, now for me, I could do a screen capture like that. Okay, doesn't matter if you have the logos or whatnot. I go to Photoshop. Okay, so I open Photoshop. Okay, and then I go back to, say, Google Maps or like that. All right, zoom it in to, or let's do Google Earth, because we open Google Earth. We have that right there. Okay, and then that's about the area right there. And then what I do is I'll do a screen capture. Okay, go back to Photoshop, and then what I'll do is I'll cut this part here, because this is just an example, right? Okay, I'll layer that in, and then I'll do an approximate, so about that, right? Like that. And then I adjust the opacity, and then just like that I can get an approximation of the depths. Okay, let's just say I'm fishing this area right here, and you can see that mark. And then what I could do is just get a reference mark. All right, because this is not super accurate, but it helps me plan, and I can do references and stuff like that. So we know that at around, I mean, there it kind of matches that, right? You know that. So like the gap right there. Okay, we could adjust the size of this. Hold on, just to match it as much as possible. So we can adjust like that. You can never get it like 100%, but you can almost get it to, you know, a very good approximation. That's like that. See? Okay. So that's almost the scale right there. I mean, all I have to do is just match the gap. Okay. So something like that, and then from there, okay, since it's that, and then I would say that if I mark this place here, okay, so you take a reference point, like take for example, whoops, zoom out a bit. Okay, so let's say there's a variance there that you want. Alright, so what you do is you just kind of eyeball it, you know. You have a reference point here, which is the entrance, the exit, whatever. And then let's say I need a line. Alright. Okay, so like that. And then I'll choose like one of these bungalows here. Okay, so I know that that's kind of like a triangle there. Okay, so this is triangulation, guys. So see that point right there. So I know that if I start from the entrance right there, and then here there's a spot. Okay, and then my reference would be this buoy right here, because it looks like a buoy. I don't know the symbols and whatnot, but I know that if I lined up with this and the building here, and that there's a buoy behind me or towards my side, whatever, depending on which direction, I'd be able to tell that it's approximately okay, so go to Google Earth. Okay, so okay, do a path, so should be around here. Take the tip here like so. All right, so I know that it is roughly 2.72 kilometers. All right, so I mean, you could get the point, put it in your GPS if you have it, but this is a very primitive way of doing things, you know. So yeah, it's just something to be able to approximate a place, and then when you go there, you just go look for it if you have a fish finder or whatnot. But it'll get you to a ballpark. I mean, that's just how I do things. It's not super accurate, but it is something that makes you get a start. All right, so you're already in the approximate place or whatnot, so you just go around, and you know that in that depth you are at 9 meters, 10 in some places because it dips down. So you know that if you hit around 9 meters, that's a good spot, or it could be a very, very good spot. This is basically how I just you know, go about things, and so far I've been successful. I know that there are better ways. Okay, there are really better ways, but this is something that you could do just as a general overview, or something that could tool, you know, just a tool for planning or whatnot. So yeah, that's it. All these tools are free, you know. Put them, and the good thing about this is that even when you're home, in your what do you call this, in your okay, here you'll see 5 to 10 meters. Okay, few details, marker. Okay, so let's check. So it's approximately about the same thing. Okay. Okay, so from there you go your heading, and then I mean, it's actually a no-brainer. It's easy. I mean, when you see this one right here, it's also, and you could also start from, you know, measure the distances between spots or whatnot. So very, very useful. Again, this is something that it's just so easy and it's free. All right, so very, very good example. And it's around here. You could actually notice that when you're around this area, it's all sand, and I fished in these areas before. So and I've caught fish in these areas before. Kind of a long paddle if you're or a long paddle, but I use my adventure island to reach these spots and actually move from one to another. So like I'm saying, this is something that's really useful. It's free, and it's something that you can have on your phone, because at that distance you could still have signal actually. And I believe this thing is actually accessible while you're in the water and on your phone. So again, very, very useful. Something really easy to use. You already know Google Maps. There's of course Tides for Fishing, which is again free, also in real time. And best of all, you can plan on your computer, mark your spots, and while you're heading there or whatnot, you can actually access everything on your phone. So again, there's something that you don't have to download or spend for, and it just makes fishing a lot more easier, especially the planning part. Okay, so I'm not telling you that this is something that you absolutely have to use, but it's kind of useful for, especially for now where we have nothing to do, and or we have a lot of time in our hands, and that it's something that we could aid us for planning. All right, so that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and click that notification bell so that you'll know exactly when a new video has been uploaded. As with the case with fishing, it's not always that you'd be able to catch fish, or if a plan doesn't really come together, and that's all good. It's called fishing, not catching. Okay, being in the water at the not so right time is okay, just as long as you're in the right place. You'd always catch fish. All right, so I hope you learned from this video, and if you have something to share, please comment below. Very much appreciated. And that's it for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.